Hi, I'm Sarah Markelly. Thank you so much for coming to my page today. Today, I'm going to discuss real estate investing and why you might choose to join in. So, who is Sarah Markelly and why should you listen to me? Well, I'm a realtor here at Century 21 Price Right in Lewiston, Idaho. I've been an agent for almost 2 years now, but obsessed with real estate investing for many years before that. I've listened to books, audiobooks, podcasts, and decided that I wanted to invest for myself. So I worked with a coach for a year, but decided the technique of using other people's money wasn't exactly my thing. So I wanted to show people that investing is attainable for most people and that, you can use your own money and start small and grow. I am not an investor myself yet, but I'm surrounded by amazing people who have done a lot for themselves, and I'm excited to start my journey as well. So, here we go. So, what are some of the benefits and why should you invest in real estate? There are many benefits, but I'm just going to go over the three main ones I hear people talk about. And that is appreciation, which is the increase of value of the property over time, usually affected by inflation and demand and all that kind of stuff. Cash flow is the income that's produced after you stash away money for the mortgage, after you stash away money for emergencies, after you stash away money for vacancies. Those are three things that you definitely need to consider when looking at your cash flow potential of a property. The last thing I'd like to go over is tax benefits. It's very advantageous owning real estate, providing housing for other people. But in order to get more information on that, I would definitely contact a tax consultant or a investment expert. I want to be able to talk about it, but it's definitely, not my area of expertise. And building your team is something that we'll go over in a later class. Yet another reason that people love investing in real estate is the opportunity for some passive income. But what is that? What is active income? Are those the only two kinds of income? So, active income is where you go to a job, you clock in, you make an hourly wage, you clock out, you go home. You don't have to worry about much. Passive income, on the other hand, is super nice because you can make passive income while you're sitting on top of a mountain, for example. There's also semi passive income, which, if you choose to self manage, might be more of what you're dealing with. Semi passive income is going to be where mostly have passive income. It's coming to you no matter what. However, if you self manage, you might occasionally get the phone call that's like, "Hey, it's 1 a.m. and my toilet quit working." So, definitely would have to deal with that. But, there are opportunities to get things in place so that you don't have to worry about those, like management teams and all that. So, you can make it as active or as passive as you'd like to. So, one of the biggest benefits to investing in real estate is creating generational wealth. You can create a lot of leverage when investing in real estate, which I'll kind of give you a scenario to show you an example. So, when you invest in stocks, let's say you invest $100,000, you get $100,000 in stocks, right? Makes sense. However, if you invest in real estate, you can take that $100,000, use it as a 20,000 or 20% down payment, and buy a $500,000 house. In the stocks in the US typically appreciate at around 10%. Of course, that's not every year. Sometimes it goes down, sometimes it goes up. But on average, it's about 10%, according to Google. Real estate in Idaho appreciates at 4.8%. So when you take all that into consideration, it would take 12 years and 8 months for that $100,000 in stocks to reach the $500,000 that you invested in real estate. The nice thing about that also is you are passing your debt onto the tenants. So Instead of you taking money out of your pocket in order to pay your mortgage, the tenants are paying you. You are taking that money and putting it in three, maybe four buckets. You are paying your mortgage. You are stashing money away for emergencies. You are stashing money away for vacancies. And then you are taking the rest of it and, paying your bills or whatever you need to do. Um, and so your client or your tenants are, taking on that debt for you. In addition to that, while your tenants are paying down your debt, the property is also appreciating. So there are multiple benefits to it. And that 4.8% might not be huge upfront, but when you consider that you are passing that property onto future generations, it definitely makes a huge difference. And that's how you can create generational wealth using real estate. Thank you so much for popping in today and checking out my very first video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to drop down in the comments, and I will make sure that I address them in a later class. So thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your day.